Hey, Queen City Gaming fans. So, welcome back, folks. Today, guys, we are doing a deep dive into the Destruction Battletome Sons of Behemoth. Basically, Gargant the army. So, guys, let's kind of take a look into the few rules that is in this. So, for those of you who don't know, guys, this army is made up of 3 kits. All right. So you have one kit that builds the Kraken Eater Mega Gargant, the Warpstone Mega Gargant, the Gatebringer Mega Gargant as well. So all of these have different rules and different like allegiance abilities and stuff. So first off, if you are playing as a generic force, you can take, or not a generic force, as any army, you can take Mega Gargants as allies. Depending on the army you are, though, depends on which army or which Gargant you can take. So, the Order armies can take the Kraken Eater Mercenary Gargant. Okay. Yeah, and you can be taken by Destruction armies. Let's see here. Where's it at? There's the, all right, here we go. The what is it? The Warp Stomper Mega Gargant can be taken by Chaos and Destruction armies, and then the Gate Crasher can be taken by Death and Destruction. I think the Gatekeeper one with the Night Haunt is actually a really good combo. But so, guys, these are basically your mercenaries. And they kind of count the same like Gotrek does, to where basically it is your mercenary and that is it. Alright, so super cool, a little ability. But let's talk about using these guys as an army by themselves. Alright, so okay, so the allegiance abilities for the Sons of Behemat. Alright, so Mightier makes Rightier. Okay, so when determining control of an objective, the Man Crusher Gargant, so the big ones, count as 10 the Mega Gargant Crusher, which is the older giant kit like these guys, counts as 10 models, and then the Mega Gargant, which is the big guys, count as 20 models instead of 1. So it really helps with your objective control. Now, your Gargants do have an ability called Chuck Rocks. So you can pick one Man Crusher Gargant, so these guys, alright, unit within 18 inches of your general. Each model in that unit can make a shooting attack with the Chuck Rocks missile weapon below. It's 18 inches, D3 attacks, 4s to hit, 3s to wound, 1 rend, D3 damage. Okay, so pretty cool little ability. So yeah, if you have a unit of 3 of these guys, it's 3d3 attacks, which isn't too bad itself. Alright, and then the Lord and Master. So the general in the Sons of Behemoth army determines basically which of these tribes you are. Either the Taker tribes, which is the what is it? The Kraken Eater Gargant, the Stomper tribe, which I believe is the what is it? The Warps, yeah, which is the Warp Stomper. And then the Gatekeeper is the Breaker tribe. So we're going to kind of look at each tribe individually and kind of focus on them themselves. Today, guys, we are actually going to start on the Taker tribe. So this is the one I would probably take. It's kind of my favorite out of all 3. So you have the rule, get rid of them. So when using the Mightier makes Rightier rule to determine control of an objective, the Man Crusher Gargants count as 15 instead of 10, and the Mega Gargant counts as 30 instead of 20. So that's super cool. And then more stuff for me collection. So each time an enemy model with an artifact of power is slain, you can roll on a triumph table. You can use the triumph during the battle, even if you have already used it. All right, you do not use, or if you do not use it during the current battle, it is lost. You cannot use it next battle. So super cool little ability for your Gargants to get. Now the command traits, you do have 6 of them. So I do like Monstrously Tough. You get 40 instead of 35 wounds. There's a couple other Strong Right Foot. So when you use this general's Get Off Me Land ability to kick the objective marker away, you roll 3d6 and a 2d6 to determine how far it's kicked. And then like Extreme Intimidation, subtract 1 from hit rolls from enemy models that are within 3 inches of this general, which is a really good ability, to be honest with you. Alright, so the artifacts of power are a little bit different. Okay. So they're called trophies taken by force. Now, if you want to take 2 of these, you can take the command ability. So very acquisitive. You can take 1 extra trophy taken by force artifacts power for the general. In addition, this general can have up to 2 artifacts in power instead of 1. So for the Kraken Eater Gargant, some of the ones that look really good are the Kraken Skin Sandals. So the bearer's almighty Stomp attacks have a attacks characteristics of 3 instead of 2, a rend of -3 instead of 2, and a damage characteristics of 3 instead of D3, which is really good. Then also the Glowy Lantern is another one of my favorite, where the bearer can cast 1 spell in your hero phase and unbind 1 enemy or a spell in your enemy hero phase. The same manner as a wizard, the bearer knows Arcane Bolt and Mystic Shield. Now remember, you also know your realm spells too, depending on what realm you're fighting in and what realm you're from. So both of those are probably the 2 I really, really like and will probably take on my guy. But, you know, you can change these around and use them as you want. So, since we're talking about the Kraken Eater, let's actually look at the Kraken Eater himself. Alright, so, Mega Gargant Kraken Eater. So this guy is crazy. His move varies. It starts at 11 and goes down to 7 depending on wounds suffered. He starts at 35 wounds. That's so good. He has a 4-up save and 7 bravery. So bravery isn't all that great on these guys, but overall he's not bad himself. So he has a missile weapon, which starts at 24-inch range and goes down to 12 inches. He has 3 attacks, 4 to hit, 3 to wound, 1 rand D3 damage. Not bad. Is it going to be ground or game breaking? No, but it's still pretty cool. So his almighty Stomp, which is the start of his melee weapons, 2-inch range, 2 attacks, so used to hit, 3 to wound, -2 rend D3 damage. All right, Death Grip, 1 attack, 3 to hit, 2 to wound, -3 rend D6 damage. And Shipwrecker Club, 3-inch range, starts at 8 attacks, goes down to 5 in his lowest bracket. 3s to hit, 3s to wound, -2, 2 damage each. Overall, just looking at his base stats, he's nothing crazy, except for the 35 wounds. But it's really in his abilities where he shines. So his Almighty Stomp ability, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 for the Almighty Stomp attack unless the target is a monster. So pretty cool, especially when you hit on a 3. So it's basically 3s re-rolling 1s. So it really helps with that. Alright, Crushing Charge. After this model makes a charge move, roll a dice for each enemy unit within 1 inch of this model. On a 2+, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds if it is a monster, or D6 mortal wounds if it is not a monster. Pretty cool. Alright, Death Grip. You can reroll hit rolls of 1 for the Death Grip that target a monster. Basically, he's just choking somebody out, so you get to reroll your hit roll. Alright, this is my favorite ability out of all the Gargants. Get off me land! Basically, it's hilarious, guys. So in your hero phase, if you have any models with this ability within 1 inch of an objective marker, you can pick one of those models and say that it will kick the objective away. If you do so, you can move that objective marker up to 2d6 inches to a new position on the battlefield, more than 1 inch away from any models, terrain feature, or other objective. An objective cannot be kicked away more than once in the same phase. That's fantastic, guys. So you're an army that is very low on model count. Most of the time, you're going to be 7 to 6 models. So for you to have the ability to kick your objectives together to let one model score multiple objectives is fantastic. All right. So Long Shanks. When this model makes a normal move, it can ignore models that have a wound characteristics of 10 or less and terrain features that are less than 4 inches tall at their highest point. It cannot finish the move on top of another model or within 3 inches of an enemy model. Really, really cool. It's kind of like Fly, but the terrain can only be 4 inches tall. So, not too bad. Alright, Sons of Behemoth. If a spell or ability would slay this model without any wounds or mortal wound being inflicted by the spell, the model suffers D6 mortal wounds instead. This is one of my big gripes in Age of Sigmar. I don't like things that just remove models. To me, that's not a fun game. So this is good to see that, you know, you just can't hand the dust this guy and take him off in one spell. So really good addition to this model. So stuff him in me net. After this model piles in, you can pick up to D3 enemy models within 3 inches of this model and roll a dice for each of them. If the roll is at least double that model's wound characteristic, it is slain. So basically, if you have 3 wounds or less, you could get slain by this, because you have to roll double. So you would need a 6 for a model with 3. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So terror, subtract 1 from bravery characteristics from enemy units within 3 inches of units with this ability. Again, you know my stance is on bravery. Bravery can be overcome very easily with command points, so it's a good ability, but it's not groundbreaking. Alright, Timber! If this model is slain before removing the model from the battlefield, the players must roll off. The winner must pick a point on the battlefield 5 inches from this model. Each unit within 3 inches of that point suffers D3 mortal wounds unless it's a Mega Gargant. This model is then removed from the battlefield. Overall, guys, fantastic horse scroll for this guy. I really like him. And Timber brings like the old school back to where you would like lay the giant on its side and use it as a template to see how many models get crushed underneath it when it died. Fantastic. This guy is awesome. I do love it. I think Sons of Behemat are going to be a great addition to the game. I was really worried these were going to be like Imperial Knights for 40k when I first saw the entry for these guys, but overall I'm happy with him. I think he's going to be great for Order armies. You're probably going to see him a lot with Cities of Sigmar, to be honest with you. So overall, really cool to see him and Gotrek fighting side by side. Would be amazing. Alrighty, guys. I do want to thank you for joining me here at Queen City Gaming, folks. Come on back when we look into the next tribe, which is the Stomper tribes. Alright. Thank you for joining us here, folks. This is Queen City Gaming, signing out, folks.